Om Sri Sai Ram. Love is the only power. Love is the only way. Love sweetens every hour. Love, have a lovely day. Love is the silent flower. Love is the child that plays. Love is the love of Sai. Love fill the world today. Om Sri Sai Ram. Anyatha sharanam nasti. There is no refuge other than you. Today, the 18th March, is 44th year of our first family interview. Before that, Swami had given me many personal interviews. But this was our family interview in which we all four brothers, our eldest sister, our mother, our father, we all were present on that sacred day, 1979. This was a Sunday. Swami performed marriage of my eldest brother, Dr. Prem, with Sumana. It is not that Swami performed the marriage, which he used to do those days for quite a few of his close devotees. But the most important factor in this was that we needed him the most at that point in time. And as he has promised, if you need me, you deserve me. We had no other credentials, no other qualifications, honestly. Prior to the marriage, Swami had approved of, I myself had taken that cake on my birthday, 28th of January 1979, to Whitefield to get his blessings for the girl. And we were given the date for the marriage, 18th of March. The marriage was supposed to be performed in Mumbai, in Ulhasnagar. But due to some unforeseen circumstances, there was such tensions in our family between my father and my uncles that all our theaters were closed and there was a cold war like going on in the family. So it was just next to impossible to celebrate the marriage there. So I sent my youngest brother Dilip with a letter of prayers to Swami to please allow us to perform the marriage in Puttaparthi. And Swami should perform himself, because I wrote him all the details. As soon as my brother reached Puttaparthi, on the very first day, Swami came and took the letter, and without even asking, he said, call everybody. We were more than 100 people, devotees, who reached Puttaparthi post midnight. And it was rarest of the rare blessings that all our rooms were kept for us to occupy. Post midnight, we were allowed to enter the ashram, and even our dinner was ready for us to take. We all were very tired and hungry. Next day morning, Swami came directly to me and he asked, "How many people have come?" I said, "Swami, nearly 100. My room is very small. Room बहुत छोटा है. You do one thing, you make a list of very close relatives, not more than 20. My room is very small." He was pleading like as if we are obliging him to allow him to perform this marriage for us. This is the beauty of this God. He went few steps forward and again came back. "But don't tell my name. They will feel bad." He took care that those who are not in the list should not feel that Swami has rejected them. Do it at your level. So I had to play very diplomatic role to make a list of about 18 persons. Swami said 20, so I made it 18. And giving them the official excuse like that officially we are not allowed to be more than 20. And when we ushered in, Swami played the role of perfect head of family, the father, the mother, the guru, the God, everything. He materialized everything: yellow rice, kumkum, Mangal Sutra, the marriage ring. He presented the bride and bridegroom with clothes and gave a divine discourse on how to lead a married life. My mother forced him to eat little sweet from her hands. And after that, very softly he is telling, "I have arranged dinner for all of you. You have to call everybody, all the people who have come with you, all 100 and plus, dinner in canteen, specially for you, for everybody." Who can be better host than Swami? Anyatha sharanam nasti. We have to just take refuge in him. In Bhagavad-Gita we know the first chapter is named as Arjuna Vishad Yoga, the despondency, the dejection of Arjuna. And that is the foundation for rest of yogas, 17 yogas. Every chapter is named yoga: karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, raj yoga. Yoga is uniting of the lower self with the higher self. Every stage of evolution should unite us, take us closer and closer to the unifying state whereby our dog mind is connected with the God mind. The tap has to be connected with the tank. But if, hypothetically imagining that Arjuna, when he suggested to Krishna to take his chariot in between the two armies who were standing to wage war, everything was ready, everybody had come to prepare come prepared to wage a war against each other. The Kauravas side knew it is going to be Pandavas on the other side. But Pandavas were wanting, Arjuna was wanting to see who actually has agreed to come and wage a war against them. He was not very sure who all would come. Those days there was no WhatsApp university. So he wanted to actually see with his own eyes who all have come to wage a war against me. And against whom do I have to wage a war? What he finds there, his own people, his Bhisham Pitama, Dronacharya, his gurus, his grandparents, his brothers, his cousins. It is not that he was unaware of all this, but he wanted to have that first-hand experience. And when he saw everybody there, suddenly an emotion of dejection, of disinterestedness, which he thought was a renunciation. He wanted to glorify his state of mind, that I will let go all my kingdom, even if I have to live on alms. Let them come and kill me, but I will not wage a war against them and kill them for sake of Hastinapura, a kingdom. I don't want to pay such a huge price for winning a war against my own relatives, my own brothers. No ways. He wanted to play that higher role. It is like a KG student trying to play a PhD. Every seed is a flower. Every seed is a fruit. Potentially fruit, potentially flower, but it has to blossom. Arjuna had to blossom from that Vishad Yoga to Sannyasa Yoga, 18th chapter. And when he evolved with Krishna's counseling and surrendered, Anyatha Sharanam Nasti, I surrender, O Krishna. I am ready to do whatever you command. He understood that he is not here to decide or do, he is here to perform. We are his performers. If every performer starts deciding and directing, what will happen to the play? Swami told once beautiful example when Hanuman was crossing Ayodhya carrying the mountain of the Sanjeevani to reach the battleground where Lakshmana was unconscious. Shatrugna saw a strange being going across Ayodhya in the direction of the forest where Rama had exiled. So, as a vigilant soldier, he set an arrow upon Hanuman, and Hanuman was made to come down with the mountain. And Shatrugna interrogated him as to where he was going with this mountain and who was he. He wanted to make sure that his brother is not in danger. When Hanuman told him the entire story, that how Ravana had kidnapped Mother Sita and how Lakshmana was now unconscious in the battlefield and he was carrying it and he was in great hurry to reach in time. Shatrugna immediately asked Bharata to get the army ready and go along with Hanuman and attack Lanka immediately. because he thought that was their prime duty to help their brother. But Bharata was spiritually wiser and more mature. He was a performer. He knew that he cannot decide. He told Shatrughna, if Rama had wanted us to be there to help him, first of all, Rama does not need anybody's help to achieve what he has to achieve. That is why Swami said, what I have come to achieve, I will achieve it single-handedly. He told the Second World Conference 1968, First World Conference, sorry, in Dharmashetra, in front of all the delegates from more than 40 countries, that I don't need any organizations or institutions to achieve my sankalpa. Whatever I have come to achieve, I will achieve it single-handedly. Just keep your hearts and minds pure enough to witness my glory, unprecedented glory, in the coming days. I will walk in the sky. The entire world will come here, and I'll uplift the human consciousness to the next level of awareness. Single-handedly. So Bharata said, first of all, Rama doesn't need anybody's help on that. If at all there was a role play for us, he knew that we are in Ayodhya and he knew that Hanuman would be passing through this place. He would have instructed Hanuman to tell us, to command us to be in his presence. But he did not. We cannot decide on our own and go there and spoil his game, his play. How do we know what Rama has decided to do? What capacity we have to judge his intentions and his actions? No ways. This is fundamental discrimination. Today, every Tom, Dick, and Harry wants to play God. We are his performers. We cannot decide our next moment. That is the truth. And because we have been doing that blunder, the Himalayan blunder, every one of us, there is complete confusion and chaos going on in the entire world today. Because every petty leader of this nation or that party or that thinks that he's got to decide everything. Everybody wants to change the destinies. They do not know their own destinies. He alone can, he alone knows, because he alone is. Arjuna also had this thought. He wanted to decide this, that even if I have to let go the kingdom, I will not wage a war against my own kith and kin. Even if I have to renounce the heavens, I will not indulge into this crime. He was trying to decide. He went to that extent. And Krishna was smiling. He was trying to impress Krishna with his sense of renunciation, he thought. Krishna was smiling. Arjuna understood the body language, that he is on the wrong track. That is the beauty of Arjuna. We should understand the body language of our God. A faithful wife, a faithful dog, a faithful servant. Understand the body language of their master. We should know what Swami likes and what Swami does not like. Arjuna understood the message behind Krishna's smile. He knew that he is on the wrong track. So he bowed down toward Krishna. Krishna, I am confused. You tell me what I have to do. You convince me. Please show me the light. Asatoma Sadgamaya. Take me from this ignorance to enlightenment. You alone can do it, Krishna. If Arjuna had not done this, there would be no Bhagavad-Gita. There would be no war. It would be a different story altogether. The moment we understand that we do not know anything, our ego, our degrees, our promotions, our little knowledge, as I often say, little promotions, little degrees, little authorities, they play havoc in our lives. They make us feel that we are here to take decisions. Then we, as say, the devil quotes the scripture, we even quote Swami on that. You do your best, I will do the rest. You do your best performance, not your decisions. Swami told once, you are not the architect of your life. I am the architect of your life. You can't plan your life. You must not. Swami once declared to the psychiatrist who wrote the book, Sai Baba and the Psychiatrist, that you cannot even think without me, without my sankalpa. What does it mean? Somebody will ask, is Swami in control of everybody's thoughts? Is it possible? Swami demonstrated to a student. We have heard in one of the talks given by the students that the boy could not lift his hand once Swami decided that he will not be able to lift his hand. Swami demonstrated that he can do that. But does he actually do it? Is it possible? Is it viable? Yes, it is. You cannot think without me means Swami is actually declaring, revealing himself to be the soul of our lives, to be the soul of our souls. Once the soul is gone, without the soul, our bodies, our intelligence, our minds will not be able to function. Dead cannot deliver. Dead cannot decide. So when Swami says you cannot think without me, Swami is identifying himself, revealing himself to be soul of our life, our existence. Without him, we don't exist. How can we think? But the surrender is different. Dead cannot even surrender. Surrender is offering your power of decision, your power of doership, your thought of idea of ownership voluntarily and happily at the lotus feet of your Guru, your God. That is surrender. Dead cannot surrender. What do they have to surrender? You cannot give what you do not have. As simple as that. So Arjuna surrendered his power of decision. Though he went on emotionally to take all the decisions as if I will let go my kingdom, everything as if he is the master. But then he understood the body language and he said, Krishna, I surrender. You guide me. If we all live our lives with that foundation of yoga of dejection, not dejection, yoga of dejection, whereby we feel the unworthiness. Arjuna found that winning the war not even worthy of it. That idea of unworthiness of having all the possessions, what does it matter? As Swami once told me, there is nothing in the entire universe. There is nothing in the entire universe worth getting attracted about, impressed about, or even afraid or agitated about. It is not worth it. There is nothing in the entire universe. Take only God seriously in your life. Everything else like a passing cloud. Getting attracted to the worldly things or attachments is like getting attracted to the scene of any movie. Getting attracted to the heroine or the hero or the palaces or the beauty shown on the screen. They are fleeting. You can't possess them. It is like fighting over, as I mentioned in one of the small stories I narrated in one of my earlier videos. The two kids who were watching from their balcony, the moving cars on the main road in Mumbai, Marine Drive, there was an elderly, sagacious person who had come to visit them. He went and asked them, "Why are you quarreling?" "Here, uncle, you will not understand. It is our game." "Okay, it is your game, but what are you quarreling for? Let me understand the game. And if I like it, I may also join you. I will also play with you." So they thought, okay, now this is the right time to get him involved in this. They said, "Uncle, the game is we are watching the cars passing on the road from the 14th story. Whosoever sees the car first and he says red Maruti, then the car belongs to him. White Mercedes, the car belongs to this person." I told red Mercedes and he is not agreeing on that. I was the first one to say that. So this is the game that we are playing. This is the game we all are playing. Stupid game. We are trying to possess and claim our rights of ownership on something which doesn't belong to us, which never belongs to us. The rights of ownership and doership are only with Him. Once we understand that secret, then we will perform higher and higher roles. We will be given bigger and bigger responsibilities. We will not play to win. We will play or perform to please Him. Only Him. We will unite not against anybody or any community or any nation. We will unite to serve, to love. Who doesn't want to be happy? Happiness is in giving. Joy is in giving, in loving, in forgiving. How can you find happiness in possessing? Holding is harmful, releasing is relaxing. It's common sense. Once we understand that secret of life, we will keep ourselves giving and forgiving. No thought of revenge or hatred or fear will ever cross our minds. Fear freezes our hearts, diseases our minds. Faith sweetens our hearts, softens our minds. We have to be full of love, of giving. Radiate His love all the time, wherever we are, whatever we are doing. We are here to love and love, to serve and serve. Nothing else is important. जय बोलो भगवान श्री सत्य साई बाबा जी की जय.